When you take a look at the logo, you can see it has this outer edge. It's offset so that it fills itself inside of it by an offset of about 10 pixels. And then all these places come across, and the font just use a simple slab serif. So just by taking a look, you have the first contours. So this outside edge that you see is just simply created using the pen tool. So you just create yourself a new layer, put it way up at the top of all these just to demonstrate. And this scan layer is just dimmed down and locked, so you don't have to worry about it moving on you. Just selecting the pen tool, swap it so that you have just the initial edge to it, and just continue to build these shapes up. So as you go across, you can spacebar to zoom in, go all the way across, and that's going to eventually build the shape up so that you have the first outside contour. Then to create the second one, you're going to have this one highlighted, so we'll just highlight that. Go to Object Path, go to Offset Path, and you'll see this window pop open. Hit Preview, and you'll see it setting there just a little bit, and you can increase or decrease, and you'll decrease it. It goes to about 10, minus 10 pixels. Click OK. So now that you have the inside of that piece placed in there pretty easily. So that'll give us the second contour. So it has this outer edge, inside edge. Okay. The third part is just the type, and the type will be something that you can just slow down, go to the page. It's a TrueType font, and when you open it up, you can just double click on it, and it will show up. And just hit Install Font, and that'll place it right into the fonts folder for yourself. And that'll be the third layer, so you have the text placed in there. And we're just going to use the logo for that first part. We can always come back and change it to fit within the segment. The final four is just a font that you have to do a little bit of an outline to. So when you zoom into it, you can kind of see it has a little curve segments to it. So we'll just outline a little bit, show the scan here. Again, take the pen tool, and what I'm going to do is just bypass the curve and just use the pen to come across. And keep in mind you can use the spacebar or arrow keys to zoom in on that. Here I'll focus it a little bit larger. Option. So here's the tool. Now once you have this, you can select these points. This one will just move it over just a little bit to straighten that up. But the ones that have the curve, just click on with the Shift key, and the inside piece will let you curve that on all three sides. So this is the only font that you actually have to trace over, because it's this itemized font that they have. So you can't just download it. But that'll give you the final four logos. So these items, now you have the outside lettering, the inside piece is ready to go. This part that has the artwork is just easily traced over. So we'll just kind of show you that section. Hide these guys, lock them. So these are pretty easily drawn. You can do the same with this, the pen tool. Just click and curve. Option to set the corner point. You can always overstate it to make that point. Click on the eyedropper to fill it in that color. That's the color that's on the base. If I zoom in to a piece that has the curve, just overset it, try to find the corner. There's a little bit of a curve, set it as a corner point. Drop it down here and here. I'm just going to swap this back over and take the direct selection tool and select this piece right here. Shift key to select that. So you have all the curves that you can just set the curve inside. Eyedrop tool, and that builds up that, repeating that for these items. Same with this part at the top, and that'll get it pretty well set up. And there's all the shapes that are traced over from this one. So that'll give you that. The last one, the basketball itself, you're just kind of tracing the outside edge with the the elliptical tool. So let's just kind of see where they're at. Tracing the outside piece, creating some of the circular sections on this section, making these thicker, changing these into a shape, and then just clipping off the pieces that are on the outside to give you the final basketball. So that's all that's been done here. So just to take a quick look at it, here's the elliptical shape. Just hold the shift key and the space bar, drops this up, so there's the outer edge of the basketball. So I just reset this so it's black and white. You can option to move this over, and that gives you that section. So you have two shapes. You can use the shape builder, just hold the option to take that off, so now you have these two shapes. You can take those eventually and just color them right in eyedrop, just to click that in there, select this direct selection with the eyedropper tool. So just undo those just so we can still see through them. The pen tool, you want to go right down the middle of the basketball. Command click on that, so it puts it back to the pen tool. Command click on that, so you're kind of trying to find the midpoint of approximately that shape of the ball to get the lines across this way. And then take the selection tool and just gather up these points and go to the stroke palette, bring this over here, show options, and just increase the stroke. Okay, so that's giving me that initial section. So I'm going to undo that and just shift key to deselect that one. Now increase it. So it's just the inside pieces that are a path, and we're just going to outline that stroke. So now it becomes a shape. Take the shape tool, just drag it right across this direction. So now you have this overall section, and now include shift key to select the rest of the basketball. Go back to the shape builder, just hold the option key to trim it off. This is probably the hardest of all the pieces that are there. So now you have the inside and outside edge of that. So it still has to be a shape, so keep it on there. There's a shape, so I just have to highlight it because it's still a piece. Zoom in on this guy. Space him over. There we go. Option, subtract him out of there. So now you have that piece as the basketball. I'll just minimize it down a little bit. Take the selection, everything's still selected, so I can drop it over there, like that. And then just go through, and these are the pieces that you have to grab, so I'm just going to shift key these parts. Hit the eyedrop tool to grab that color. Go back to the selection tool, select this one. You can kind of see the outside edges of them. Eyedrop tool to select those. Whoops, got a little too many. Just do one at a time so you can see it. Just going to toggle between I and A. Takes a little time, but gets it in there. Undo that last one there. There we go. Zoom in, that's the last little tiny piece that's in there. Right there. There we go. So there you go. So that gives you the basketball. So zoom back out, and you pretty much have it down. You just have the blue circle for the NCAA logo, and you have the basketball on top. Okay. So let's see how that works. So not too bad, just kind of going through all the different colorings. The lettering itself has to come secondary on the outside edge, so you'll be able to see those colors. So everything that's there is kind of outlined. The only thing that's missing here for the NCAA logo is the Option R. So I have this, just undo this, I have the option here. And zoom in on this one. So I just take the circular tool, shift key it, space bar it around a little bit, swap it around, take the high drop, and fill it full of blue, and that'll give you that section there. So I'm just going to cut this out, come back underneath the text, go to Edit, Paste in Place, puts it right exactly where it was, and just drop it down here. Okay. Just put NC. And for the, while it's still on this layer, just take the text tool, still blue, and just go Option R for the registration. Make it a little bigger with the Shift key. I drop tool for blue, and it gets you all set perfectly into the logo. So basically you're trying to just get the outlines and filling it in with the coloring right after. So you can go into each section and each layer, just grab each color for that particular section of the type. So very easily done. So for example, here's the eye for this one. That's going to be the blue. That's the first contour. Second contour is going to be the black. So you can just click on this to highlight it. Select black, lock it, and hide it. That's the blue logo, so we'll just lock that and hide that. Text we can hide, Final 4 we can hide. The artwork is right here. So just take the selection tool, select an eyedrop tool there. So it's just a V, I. So it makes it a little bit easier to come through. And just continue